if you don't read anything else, read the first 8 or 10 pages of the book. And maybe I'll just give that away to you now. The first, because it's cool. I mean, I'm really
Spoiler alert, but it's a good one.
What?
Spoiler alert, but it's a good one.
In the first 8 pages or so, we describe America as in awful shape, extremely polarized, people can't get along, extremely unequal, huge gap between rich and poor, extremely self-focused, narcissistic, focused on the I, just an extremely disconnected in every possible way that you can imagine. And 90% of our readers at that point get bored and say, we know all that, you're just telling us what we already know about our life. And at that point, we open the curtain and we say, actually, those sentences were written not about America in 2020. We've just given you a description of America in 1890. And so it was fun to write that, but now I'm using that to say, so whose idea was that?
Yeah.
We honestly don't know. We both can tell you the conversation in which it occurred, but it was a wonder. I'm not going to tear up here, but I would otherwise tear up. I'm not a teary kind of person, because it was a wonderful example of a perfect collaboration in which we do not know whose idea that. Does that make sense?
I love it, yes.
Well, and interestingly, I mean, we both know a lot about the Progressive Era, and I know everything that I know about the Progressive Era because my obsession with that period in American history started when I was a student of yours as an undergraduate. But I don't think either of us knew quite as much about the Gilded Age, which comes just before it.
Right.
And so I did this months-long process of diving really deep into the granular history of the Gilded Age, and I was blown away at how the lived experience of America during that period felt to the average American so similar, so dizzying, so much vertigo, so much sense of a loss of control, you know, and the sense that everything had gone off the rails and we don't know where we're headed. That fear, I think, was really present when you look at the cultural commentary of the day. That surprised me. And so doing this painstaking process of writing every word of that introduction such that it could be spoken equally about either period was a fascinating and really eye-opening experience.
Well,
and I only want to say quickly, and that was written, and the whole damn book was written before the before the epidemic, before the economic collapse, before the politics of the last 18 months, and yet, I mean, it's just like, to us, it's kind of amazing. Yeah. It turns out that it's still true, that however you are currently feeling about America, I assure you, many, many people just like you had exactly those same feelings of, how did we get into this and how are we going to get out of it then as now?